Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshmyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagwan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation. Not just creation getting created. Even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created. And pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has his 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 phases of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagwan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Let's go to the powerful combination from Bhagavad Gita Decoded from Bhagavan Satsang.
And I'll catch them. Did you sleep last session? Where were you for the last session? One guy was suffering with insomnia. Always he will be late for the office. The boss was shouting, but could not do anything. One day, the guy goes and cries to the boss, "Sir, it is my insomnia, sleeplessness, responsible for my delay, for my late coming to the office. Because I don't get sleep till late night. I start sleeping only after 2 o'clock in the morning and naturally wake up late and come late to the office." Boss gets some sleeping pill, gives it to the staff and says, "Take one per day, it will become all right. The problem will become all right." This guy goes back to the house. His anger and frustration towards the insomnia, he decided to take 3 and took. Really had a wonderful sleep. He has even beaten the alarm clock in the morning. Anyhow, finally he woke up, had a cup of coffee, got ready, reached the office, said to his boss, "Sir, I really slept well, had a wonderful sleep. Now I am ready, fresh, in time in my life. First time I am on time in my life." Boss said, "That is all fine, but where were you yesterday?" Sometime you jump time. The logic which jumps time, the logic which jumps truth, naturally is perverted, not logical. For whose sake we desire kingdom, enjoyment and happiness. Arjuna is trying to withdraw. He does not have the courage or guts to withdraw. So he is trying to use Krishna's own words to justify his withdrawal. Life is expansion, death is contraction. Withdrawal is death. There is no choice between do or die. If you die, who will do? No. Just do it. That's it. But when you think there is a choice between do or die, sometimes you choose death, withdrawal, contraction, which is not only against life, it's against everything which is living. It's a conspiracy against the consciousness. So Arjuna, in his depression, does not know what he is doing. Let's see the next verses.
Acharya pitara putraha tataiva cha pitamahaha matula shvashura pautraha shyalalam sambandhinastata.
Acharya pitaraha putraha tataiva cha pitamahaha matula swashura pautraha shyala sammandan dinastata. Teachers, fathers, sons, as well as grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives. He is repeating these details second time. This shows the confused conscience of Arjuna. He is giving the details. Teachers, fathers, sons, as well as grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives. Let's continue to the next verse.
Etanahantumiccami Nyatopi madhusudana apitrailokya rajyasya hetu kim nu mahikrute.
Etana hantumiccami nopi madhusudanaha natopi madhusudanaha apitrailokya rajyasya heto kimnu mahikrute. Suddenly Arjuna says, Krishna, he calls him Madhusudana, even if I am killed by them, I do not want to kill these ones, even to gain control of all three worlds, much less for the earthly lordship. Nobody is going to give you the control of all three worlds, even if you kill all of them. Why are you exaggerating? Usually when people are in depression, they exaggerate. I don't want, even if you give me enlightenment. Who said I'm going to give? Relax. But here, Krishna is not saying that. First thing is tremendous compassion. Second, he has already prepared Arjuna for his avataric mission. For Krishna's avataric mission, he has prepared Arjuna. But now in the last moment, this fellow is trying to escape. See, now the war is not only the mission of Arjuna, it is mission of Krishna also. Etanna hantumichami natopi madhusutanaha apitrailogya rajyasya heto kimnu mahi krute. Arjuna now argues. Arjuna calls Krishna with the name Madhusudana, means slayer of demon Madhu. See, last few sutras, he is always calling Krishna with a different names, like a Keshava, who killed Keshin, Madhusudana, who killed Madhu. He is reminding Krishna, you are always a destroyer. You always kill. When you are depressed, you are always in the extreme. Depression is a disease which makes you go to the extreme and does not let you do anything and makes you completely incapable. In depression, mentally you will be in extreme, physically you will be incapable of anything. That is what is called depression. Arjuna is in the peak of the depression.
Such a beautiful, powerful cognition, how Arjuna's depression is making him more and more into making wrong decisions. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana.
Is taken from the Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.19. Shakti Sandhane Sharirotpatihi. Shakti Sandhane Sharirotpatihi.
Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.19. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, by aiming and fixing the self on Shakti, uniting in oneness with the supreme power, the embodiment of that which is cognized and willed manifests at once as length, breadth, depth, time, and space. Such a profound cognition of how Arjuna never took responsibility initially, was trying to justify his depression, how he was depressed, and how he was struggling with his depression because he doesn't want to listen but withdraw. The opposite of responsibility is completely withdraw. The withdrawal never leads to anything except death. You withdraw from life, it's called death. That only happens. Bhagavan beautifully says how Arjuna is suffering because of his wrong cognitions and not wanting to align but ready to withdraw is the reason why he is going through what he is going through. Bhagavan beautifully says in the Shastra Pramana how by aiming and fixing the self on Shakti, continuously being in the coherence instead of confusion, having the clarity again and again, however bad it is, the clarity that you are Paramashiva. Bhagavan beautifully says, Like how in the road we see the mirage, but if you go to close view, there is not even existing. It doesn't even exist. But you always get confused with the mirage being real, thinking there is water there. And when you go there and turn back to the position where you started, the water will be there. It's just our perception, which we think it is truth and very fact it is. But it does not exist in both plane. It is not reality. From the space of consciousness, the reality happens. How beautifully Krishna makes Arjuna to understand. He prepared him for the war. He prepared to make sure the war happens and diffuses all the items which needs to be diffused. So beautifully, Bhagavan says that Nakula and Sahadeva both are enriching and causing continuously to make the reality happen for everybody. Each of them had a character and they enacted that role. Bhagavan says to Arjuna that he just have to play the role. He doesn't have to do anything for the whole war to happen. He is not the doer. He is not doing. He is just the witness of the whole thing. He says, you manifest your reality. Simply you'll see that without any effort and without any incompletion, everything would have happened completely. And so beautiful that because Arjuna is in oneness with Krishna, everything manifests for him as the greatest reality. Let's go to the Aptapi Gautama's curse, him wife Ahalya, to become a stone for allowing Lord Indra into her hermitage. He curses her to become a stone for over 60,000 years, till Lord Vishnu, the avatar of Lord Rama, comes to touch, and because of the feet dust of Rama went on her, she was liberated from the curse and completely she became Ahalya again. This is from chapter 5, Balakanda, Adhyatma Ramayana. Each of the Leelas that Rama played to liberate so many in the world. Bhagavan beautifully says how when we align ourselves, simply things which are most aligned also happens around us. Let's go to Atma Pramana.
I'm going to introduce the concept of 11 dimensions. Length, breadth, depth is not just lines. It is also principles, means your logic. A linear thinking, 1 plus 1 is 2, means 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. All men have one head. Socrates is a man, means Socrates has one head. All this kind of a linear thinking put together is length. When I use the word length, see, Sadashiva defines length. Please understand, everything I am going to say now, all the 11 dimensions, precisely defined in Sanskrit. I should say Prakrit. Prakrit in Agama by Sadashiva. So listen. Unit of self, Jiva. Unit of universe, space. Unit of the God, Sadashiva. All three unit is one and the same. Listen carefully. The being who goes through all the 25 states of consciousness, the unit space of the 11 dimensions of the universe, and the unit space of the Sadashiva, God particle, all three are one and the same. You will experience that later, and I'll make sure you get that. Now at least understand intellectually what I am presenting. When Sadashiva says length, not only the line, everything which is linearly functioning, every energy, force, which submits itself to the linear calculation. For example, if you use this many horsepower, this item will be pulled. This many horsepower, this item will be pulled. It is a linear logical understanding. Anything which submits itself to this law is also length. But this law will not be useful when you are having fight with your spouse. Now there are many places, I am just giving you one example. There are many places this law will not be useful. So whatever submits itself to all the logical linear understandings, all of you are able to get what I am saying. Length does not mean just the length of this, anything you understand by logic. If you put this much of electricity into this machine, this will start rotating in this speed. If you put this much of voltage, it will start rotating in this speed. This is a linear understanding, a logical understanding. In this, anything which functions under the law of logical understanding is length.
Understanding the powerful cognition on length, let's go to the Shakshi Pramana, initiator disciple all over the world who are demonstrating and who are giving their testimonials, witnessing the Kotiyat session by Balasans.
So yesterday I was parted with Shiva Shankara Maharaj, and he'd actually been asked the question about Mars, how many humans are on Mars? And within less than 10 seconds, he answered 6. And this was interesting, so I Googled the answer, and there is no, real evidence that there's humans on Mars, but there was a link that led to an article talking about a group of people in Utah who had found some land and were able to create a simulation of Mars. So they're literally there experiencing what it's like to live on Mars, and the number of people there is 6 experiencing that.
Beautiful experience of
Prataksha Pramana, scientific studies. What can be measured? Measuring the effects of being in enlightenment state. Vedic sciences have always maintained that consciousness is the very substance of space and time. His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nithyananda, has clearly defined the existence of 11 dimensions of consciousness. As per his elucidation, space can exist by itself. On the other hand, time can exist only in the presence of space, but can still exist without other dimensions, including the obvious ones, depth, length, and breadth. Source from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 2, Consciousness, page 83. In quantum terms, thought too is energy. Every cell of our body produces thoughts in the form of signals, which may be electrical, chemical, or otherwise. These can be measured in TPS, or thoughts per second. The normal TPS of the average human being can be hundreds of or thousands. Some thoughts are processed consciously, while others are processed unconsciously. A TPS of 0 is the state of Advaita, or enlightenment. Space is made up of strings of potential energy, which are in constant vibration, spanda, leading to the creation of virtual particles. This is a very basis of the Vedic truth of consciousness. In the Avatar Shastra, Swamiji mentions quantum physicist Amit Goswami's article about entanglement between two people. Quantum physicist of Indian origin, Amit Goswami, made two people meditate together. They were separated in two chambers, one person in each. When one person had a light stroked at his eye, it caused the firing of certain frequency in the brain. Remarkably, at the same moment, the other person's brain also fired, even though he never saw the light. This proves that the energies of people intuitively affect each other.
There are two kinds of movement in the world. One kind of movement is maximum speed limit with the speed of light. That's the kind of movement that is allowed in the domain that we call space and time. That's where matter moves, that's where things look diverse. But the other kind of domain is where the speed of communication is infinite. We call it non-local. That's the domain of potentiality. And if there is instant connection in that domain, then do you see it got to be one. If things are instantly interconnected, that interconnectedness is a oneness. That is the oneness that mystics and spiritual teachers talk about. That is the oneness. So simply by recognizing that objects are possibilities, we are looking at a oneness. And then it's just a question of language. Question of language. What should I call this oneness?
Setting up for the power of length dimension for the reading through the mirror. So we need a camera and with timestamp, a jnananjan, a mirror, ordinary mirror, a pen and a paper. Let's take a few minutes to set up the camera. Download timestamp app, click on the video, ensure that time is shown on the screen vividly and clearly. Make sure the camera is facing you and the spiritual products and the paper where you're noting down all the details. Let it be a very bright and a quiet place for you to record those videos, the amazing moments of manifesting the powers. Guidelines to start to turn on the video recording. Apply the jnananjan in the third eye. Bring awareness to your third eye. Randomly ask the astronomical question and have definite answer to compare, like dates, position, happening, keywords. Use the mirror. Use the jnananjan if you have on the mirror. Look into the mirror and simply whatever gets revealed, write it in a paper and compare the exact astronomical detail with the what has appeared. If the results match exactly the astronomical dates, position, happening, would be perfect manifestation. If you've just got a part of it, you are still manifesting, and celebrate the whole manifestation for you to get more and more into the depth of manifestation. Verify the results authentically and share the video with powerful cognition with others and listen to others' experience of this manifestation. Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shaktipada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shaktipada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and or egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg, and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hen sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me, why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes this external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful, avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shared form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. You need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this
very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound.
I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye. Again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnanananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnanananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Jnanananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Verification process for the length dimension for the astronomical detail using the mirror. Verify that on the video editing, no video editing is done on the Shakti Vayashkarna video, power manifestation video. Verify video is not stopped or restarted in the process of manifestation. All videos with timestamp are available. All videos with the wide angle view. No tampering of the questions by showing the methods or giving the clues to is completely prohibited. Do not prepare the questions or answers in front of them. If the answers is in different metric system, please convert it accordingly for verifying. Do not use any electrical device, Bluetooth, or books during the manifestation. Give complex astronomical questions, no simple questions, so you know you have manifested the powers. Authentically verify the results so that it matches exactly by anyone commonly known, and not interpreting or misinterpreting the result, but exactly looking at what is the result and exactly matching the same. Thanks for manifesting this power. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar manifesting power groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the power manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम तत्सत् सर्वं भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमेश्वर पादुका अर्पणमस्तु। Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham